Hello, YouTube community. It's Robert S. Welcome back to RobScure Music, coming to you from a different location. And this is more my music area. You can see I have Jim Morrison, American poet, Beatles, British poets, and there's some other stuff around here. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk to you about today. Today, I actually was listening to one of my CDs and I was inspired. And it's this, The Many Faces of Elton John. And this is a 2019 Mexican CD. It's a 3DC set, 3CD set, and it's quite a collection, and a somewhat odd, unusual collection, but actually very interesting and not a bad listen. Disc 1 has, they call it The Many Faces of Elton John, and it's songs where Elton is either doing, collaboration or duet with another artist, or he produced it, or he plays on it. Then you've got disc 2, the songs, and these are basically Elton John songs that are performed by other artists. And disc 3 is Elton Symphonic, and this is Elton John songs, Your Song, Rocket Man, Candle in the Wind, Nikita, things like that, performed by the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. So I'll show you that track listing there. You can pause that and take a look at it. But the thing about this is, it got me thinking about the many faces of Elton John. And obviously everybody knows Elton John from all of his hit songs, particularly those in the 70s, those that were popular from movies like The Lion King. And there may be some other things about Elton John that you don't know. So I just wanted to quickly talk about some of those. To begin with, in the 60s and even into the 70s, there were a lot of low-budget record companies that would hire studio musicians to re-record hits of the day, and they would be able to sell these albums very cheaply. And you'll still find those on occasion, and you've always got to be careful. You look at those. Is it actually the original artist, the original songs, or is it perhaps the original artist who re-recorded it? Or maybe it's not even the artist at all. It's a studio musician that's done it. But while most people dislike those type of CDs or those albums, Elton John, back in the late 60s, I think it was sometime in 69 and even into 70, before he really became popular, to supplement his income, he was a studio musician. And he actually did perform some of those type of songs. So, in fact, there's an album about that, and maybe I'll do a separate video on that album where he does cover songs. But it's really pretty interesting. For example, he plays and sings lead on some songs that you know very well. United We Stand, which was originally performed by the Brotherhood of Man, I think it was called. Yeah, Brotherhood of Man. He does Travelin' Band, the CCR song. He does Come and Get It, believe it or not, the Badfinger song that was written by Paul McCartney, and even Spirit in the Sky, the Norman Greenbaum song. So it's interesting, particularly for Elton John fans, to hear him doing those songs. And again, it was all kind of before he was well known. He also, as a studio musician, played on several songs. For example, he plays piano on He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. Yes, he actually plays on that Holly song. And what else? He does backing vocals on Early in the Morning, the Vanity Fair song. And he does backing vocals on Sugar Sugar by the Archies. Did you know that? But it's like all these little interesting facts that I love to hear. He also, by the way, played piano on Wham's hit The Edge of Heaven. What else? Oh, and of course, he has some duets. Obviously, you'll remember Whatever Gets You Through the Night with John Lennon, Bad Blood with Neil Sedaka, although I don't think he is credited on the song. He's obviously on the song. And what's the other song? What am I thinking of? That's What Friends Are For, from with Dionne Warwick and Stevie Wonder. And he appears on Kate Bush's last album, which was called 50 Words for Snow. There's a song called Snowed In at Wheeler Street, and he contributes to that. And fans of Kate Bush feel like Elton is a bit of a distraction on that. She might have been better off getting some unknown artist to sing that song. But I like the fact that Elton's on that. And actually, I think it's probably one of the best songs on that particular album. Elton also plays on a Red Hot Chili Peppers song called Sick Love from their 2016 album, The Getaway. And that actually, much like the Kate Bush album, I think that might be the best song on the album. Not saying that it's because of Elton, but it helps. And then there's the little known fact that, well, let me take a step back. Some of you may know that Elton is Sean Lennon's godfather. But did you know who is the godmother of Elton's two sons? Lady Gaga. And his song, Candle in the Wind, that he revised after Princess Diana's death in 1997, that song is the second best-selling single of all time. Well behind White Christmas by Bing Crosby, which is definitely the best-selling single in the world. Another interesting fact, not having to do with Elton per se, but something I don't think a lot of people understand or know, is that the song Tiny Dancer, which of course everybody knows now, when that was originally released in 1971, it was a bit of a flop, actually. It certainly didn't make the top 40 in the US, and I don't think it was even released in the UK. But then, lo and behold, the song appears in Cameron Crowe's movie Almost Famous, and like that, overnight, the song is a hit, and everybody loves Tiny Dancer after that. So the last thing I want to say about the many faces of Elton John is that, did you know he once auditioned to become a member of King Crimson? Can you imagine how different that band would sound with Elton in it? So that's it, friends. Stay well. And remember, got my logo shirt on, by the way. Remember, if the music strikes a chord, let it play.